Hey, I'm Simon McIntyre. Welcome to a short series, 3 to 4 minute videos, reflections on the Lord's Prayer. And first of all, I'd like to give due deference to two writers who have helped me with some of the background. And they are Craig Kenner and his magnificent volume, New Testament Background Commentary, and also Joel Green and his commentary on the Gospel of Luke. So just a couple of quick thoughts before we head into this interesting and I think wonderful discussion on the Lord's Prayer. First is that it's long fascinated me, the Lord's Prayer. It's one of those prayers that I've heard children pray, and also I've heard adults pray. Apparently people have prayed it when they've faced martyrdom. That's the same as being an adult. It's being used for a variety of cases where people have not known Christ. It's the only prayer they've ever remembered. They got it drilled into them at school or some such thing, particularly in the Western world. And they've called upon the name of the Lord using that prayer. And I can't think of anything more wonderful. So the Lord's Prayer's got a lot of applications. There are some who think the Lord's Prayer actually belongs to a pre-grace era. And therefore it's redundant when it comes to use by the church. One of the problems with that thinking, aside from which I can't see it being real or realistic, is that if that's the case, then all of Jesus' words are redundant because they were all before the cross. So then it's a matter of picking and choosing what you want according to your theological bent or preference. No, I think it's one of those great prayers that's just lasted time. It's still magnificent. It covers the bases. It engages us with our Father who lives in heaven. And I can see great value in its continued use. Also, another aspect of the Lord's Prayer that I think is important is that it says, our Father. It never says, my Father. And I think that's rather significant, that it says, our Father, not mine. And so we see that it is a prayer that belongs to community. But more of that later. To begin with, I think it's worth reading out these prayers. So in this first session, we'll read out the prayer that's in Matthew chapter 6 and its broader context. And then in the second, we'll read out that in the book of Luke, the Gospel of Luke. They are the two synoptic writers that have recorded this prayer. So, Matthew 6, verses 5 through to verse 15. And when you pray, you must not be like the hypocrites, for they love to stand and pray in the synagogues and at street corners, that they may be seen by others. Truly I say to you, they have received their reward. But when you pray, go into your room and shut the door and pray to your Father who is in secret. And your Father who sees in secret will reward you, the implication being openly. And when you pray, do not reap up empty phrases as the Gentiles do, for they think they will be heard for their many words. Do not be like them, for your Father knows what you need before you ask him. Pray then like this. Our Father in heaven, hallowed be your name. Your kingdom come, your will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, as we also have forgiven our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For if you forgive others their trespasses, your heavenly Father will also forgive you. But if you do not forgive others their trespasses, neither will your Father forgive you. That's Matthew in its basic context regarding prayer.